So you can find the Kill Logic Effect every day, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. XRP Radio, Triple Trouble Radio, Local Music, Earth Entertainment, and a whole slew of others. Of course, you can find us over on TuneIn, all them type places. You can also find us over on the YouTubes. You can find us live streaming on multiple various video streaming platforms. We get around. You can find us in all the places. You can even find us in a lot of the alt-tech places like Rumble and places like that. So today I want to talk a little bit about this whole, for lack of just regurgitating what everybody is talking about with Neil Young and pulling his music off, and then now Sebastian of all people has chimed in. Yeah, he's all for and all about Neil Young, but I don't see him ripping his music off. Sebastian's a lot of friggin' talk. He's the typical kind of grifter, and that's, probably why he's in the position he's in with his band and all that, or lack of a band. But I really wanted to touch on the fact that, everybody talks about this right-wing misinformation, and they don't ever stop to think for 1 second that they might be themselves reacting to misinformation. Nobody can cite anything that is misinformation. It's just all what somebody else is saying is being said, and it's bullshit. So now you got a bunch of assholes out there flexing, showing how low information they really are, and making these brash decisions and trying to, you got the ones that are trying to grift, but then you got the ones that are trying to act like the rest of us are all misinformed and listening to misinformation and anti-whatever rhetoric when you don't know what you're talking about, obviously. Because simply asking questions, if, all these people that were proponents of free speech or whatever, if simply asking questions or, trying to have adult discussions about things to help people come to their conclusions and come to really figure out how to get information the correct way and all that. I mean, and how to sift through all the talking heads and all the crap. If talking to scientists and archaeologists and all that is misinformation, then we have fallen very far from where we're supposed to be. And I would challenge Mr. Young or even Sebastian Mouth there to cite some misinformation and then tell me where the fuck they got that misinformation from. And I guarantee they're going to find that they themselves are the very enemy that they so friggin' deeply want to, when you get to the point to where you're going to punish your own fans because of some fucking stance you're taking over retardation, it's just ignorance, man. It is. And it's just this is just more these people that have gotten sucked into all this big hole of information, and they think that only they are getting informed, or that only they are the purveyors of truth and justice and blah, blah, blah. When really they have no idea what they're talking about. They're just reacting over what these talking heads that are sponsored and paid by the very companies that they're, oh yeah, everything's safe and do this and blah, blah, blah. Sponsored by Pfizer. Come on. It's hard to believe somebody when it's like, yeah, they're paying you to say whatever the fuck they want you to say. So me asking questions, though, that gets you all riled up. Wow. That's weird. And it's, I find it so funny that everybody is so worried about making sure that everybody does this thing. You ain't worried about the litany of other fucking health things that plagues America and the world. Nobody seems to be upset about that. No, not nobody. No. Not one news agency's gonna say a fucking thing about it, huh? Not cancer, not ODs, not fucking suicides. No, nobody's gonna mention any of that. Oh, alright, we're not doing that? Oh, that's not what we're into, huh? I forgot. Yeah. Shit. Well, we're not into real information because we ain't into fucking facts, pal. Right? It's all about what you're being told to say or what the fuck all that. That's ignorance. It's ignorance. If you can't ask a fucking question or you can't have an adult discussion without being called anti whatever or that's just pure ignorance, man. And anybody on the side of, yeah, that's just, no. You're just repeating what you've just proven and shown everybody how fucking low information you are. You are just, you shouldn't even be in the conversation if you're just going to repeat toddlers can do what you do. Toddlers do that. That's what toddlers do. They repeat what they hear. That's why you got to really be careful when you're talking around a small child, because they will repeat the shit that they hear, like word for word or verbatim, which so you see the conundrum that we are in with all this. I mean, you got these people on high levels, and get this, man. This motherfucker is throwing away 60% of his income. Now, granted, Mr. Young is worth $200 million, but worth and actually having are two different fucking things. Being able to actually access $200 million, I don't think he, no, sorry. Hey, very well could be. He could, I know he's co-produced many an album and he's gotten his hands in all sorts of projects and shit. And I am by no means going to put down Neil Young's music or any of that. I've been a fan of Neil Young for as long as I've been alive. Shit, I got Neil Young on vinyl not 3 feet away from me. Yeah, Crazy Horse, all that, just dude. I think it's funny though. One thing I will say about like people will talk, oh man, I saw him live and he's really lost it. He can't sing anymore. It's like, dude, have you heard Neil Young? I don't think he could ever sing. Really, that was like kind of his deal. I mean, that's the thing. That was what made him so awesome, I mean, Neil Young has put out some tunes that I hold near and dear and always will, no matter what his antics or views may be. And anybody that says, oh, I'm fucking throwing away all my Neil Young, well, you're dumb. That's just stupid. We don't all have to agree on all the things all the time. But one thing that we should be able to agree on is that we should be able to ask questions. I mean, really? Isn't that like the thing that, like, elevates knowledge. I thought it was. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I've always been of the mind that asking questions is how we obtain knowledge or obtain the ability to get the knowledge to be able to come to our own conclusions and make our own decisions. But it would seem that there are a lot out there that aren't into letting you come to your own conclusions and making your own decisions. And there has to be some, I mean, there has to be some sort of a middle ground, man. You know? And if people are all upset that, you know what people are really upset about? People are really upset that he's dominating all media platforms. He's number one everywhere. And there was somebody that pulled out some, they were like, no, this is the number one podcast, and it's some news podcast. And it's like, yeah, because you hear people talking about that every day. It's just, sour grapes or whatever. But a lot of people are gonna, like look, when CNN pulls this shit, don't look at Fox, but don't watch Fox. Well, of course you're gonna say that. Your ratings are tanking, But if you were an honest news agency, you would want people, hey, we go see for yourself. You'll see that we are telling you the truth. Go look, and that's what you want. And that's not what we're getting a bunch of talking heads that are talking for big corporations. They're all sponsored. You get the actual newscasters themselves that have sponsorships. I mean, you get into media a little bit, you start looking at how all this works, man, and it's like, okay, I get it. You're getting a paycheck. Everybody's getting paid, but man, come on. So, I don't know. It all comes around full circle, though, but all these, it's like when Sebastian Mouth chimes in and has his shit to say, he's reacting over what he heard somebody say was said. He's not reacting and that's what makes you look so fucking ignorant. It makes you look so dumb and so low information. It's like you just show. I'd have no idea what I'm talking about. All I know is what I've been told, and I'm gonna, have something to say about that. Well, has it ever occurred to you that the people telling you this shit are fucking lying? Holy shit. Not one time has that ever come into your little fucking head. Like, hey, maybe these people aren't telling me information for me. Maybe they're telling me information that helps all their rich friends. Huh. Which do you think is more fucking believable and makes more sense? Use some common sense. I mean, just think about it for half a second. Done? You get it? You get what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man. This is simple fucking math, dude. And these idiots that are getting all caught up and, I'm going to pull my music from Spotify. Really? You're going to fuck over all your fans? I mean, and I guess, hey, if you got real fans, then they got your shit elsewhere anyway, like I do. Look. And somebody I posted a meme of Neil Young being a Karen. Hey, my, can I speak to the manager of Spotify? Well, it's a fucking meme, first of all, okay? It's funny, okay? It's okay to laugh at things. It is. It is. Not everything has to be take sides. And if anybody, by any fucking stretch of the imagination, thinks that I would be on the side of Spotify, holy shit, you ain't been paying attention, pal. Wow. No, not me. Not this fucking guy. I have shit on Spotify every fucking step of the way. But it doesn't change the fact that it's the number one media platform for all audio streaming right now. I'd have to be an asshole to just try, ignore bands that are doing good on it. What I do a lot of is point out the fact that look at all the streams these bands are getting and look at the fucking money they are not making. And look at all the money that this motherfucker is making telling you, make more music. Bro, I got 10 albums worth of fucking music over there. I've gotten fucking 7 billion fucking streams and I pulled out $7. Something's not right. These aren't actual numbers. These are just exaggerated hypotheticals. My point is, I have never been a fan of how Spotify. I always steer people to Bandcamp and those places. Those are the places that I highly recommend people go to. That's, if you can't buy direct from the artist, then go to Bandcamp. Bandcamp still has its issues. I mean, it can't solve all the shipping problems and all it can only do so much, because at the end of the day, like shipping actual merchandise from some countries into this one, it isn't easy. And it costs more sometimes than the product you are trying to ship. So, hey, legends. So, all these platforms come with their little hitches, their little things that just aren't gonna work out the best. But when I post links for a band, 99.9% of the time, it's their Bandcamp link, it's their website, or it's their social media. Everything else people can get from those places. If the band wants you to go to Spotify, they will tell you to go to Spotify. I try to share links that I think will help the band more. But if they're really pushing their Spotify link, hey, my job in this position is to try to help bands get heard, get seen, and get into the places that I'm like one of them little cogs along the way that tries to, shift you along your way to where you want to go. And if that's what you want to do, that's what it's all about. And again, if Neil Young wants to pull his fucking music one thing that I would tell you about Neil Young, you can go to his website and you can get a lot of music of his for free. And something has to be said about that, man. I commend the guy for that, because he's in a position where he doesn't need to give that shit away. He doesn't need to at all. But I think he feels he's also in a position where, he's comfortable. He's living the life he enjoys. He's so comfortable and so relaxed that he gets blasé information and makes brash decisions because he's that friggin' out of the loop with something. And you see other bands make sure that they stay out of these things. And rightfully so. I haven't heard, Pearl Jam and stuff, they've always been, very open about, the politics of the business, and they've been against Ticketmaster, and they've had a lot of stances in places. This ain't one of them. And I think they have all made a decision, and the reason I mention them is because they're really close with Neil Young. They wrote a whole album with him and everything. But they rightfully have stayed away from this because everything that you thought you knew one day is proven to be bullshit the next. And everything that was a conspiracy theory and all that shit one day, the next day is headline news. So, I think people really need to take a step back and look at the bigger picture a lot of the times, and that's not happening at all, ever. There's some things happening in radio, independent radio, that I fucking wholeheartedly disagree with, and it's all just a scam to make rich people richer and to try to stifle creativity. Just in test, it's already done that. It's already caused big rifts at radio stations. DJs have left. Music that would be getting played before is not getting fucking played. I have a big problem with how this is all trying to get centralized, and it's not what fucking internet radio and all that shit's about. And, trying to rein all this thing in so they can squeeze every cent that they can out of it. And, run all your music through this database. Why? So we can make money, assholes. It's all about the artists and making sure that, no, it has nothing to fucking do with them. And acting like it does, while we clearly fucking know it doesn't, it's just insulting at this point. It's, it's like you're pissing on us without even the courtesy of telling us it's fucking rain. But I digress. So what do we do about all this? I mean, what the, I mean, look, the one thing that I can, attest to and shows that the people on the, we'll say the Rogan side of the argument, are a lot less combative and a lot less, because they know that it's not about misinformation. It's about friggin' having the conversation and learning the things that they won't even tell you, or like simple fucking questions like, okay, how does this all work? Can we have a physician that comes in and tells us how viruses work? Can we have the dude that created RNA, that, can we have somebody like that maybe explain how RNA works and how all that works? No, we can't even have the conversation. Oh, okay, sorry. It's just gotten, and those people that think that it's about misinformation, or I don't want to be on a platform with misinformation. Why? Because somebody told you it was misinformation, or did you actually fucking hear misinformation? What misinformation? When is a question misinformation? It's, and then they go out of their way to like, oh, this is, we've shown that this is not true. No. We've shown that your fact checks are bullshit. They're just another scam to make money and funnel people from one place to another. You add information to what you are fact checking to turn around and say, oh, that's not, it's like, if some fucking senator came out and did a backflip to the podium and it made the fucking news, but it was a senator that they don't particularly care for, everybody would be like, oh wow, the motherfucker did a backflip on his way to the podium. Fact checkers would come out and say, did this senator do a backflip to the podium while eating ice cream? Fact checkers have found that is false. Yeah, because nobody said shit about eating ice cream, man. What the fuck, dude? What are you doing? Ugh. I mean, it's gotten to the point where it's laughable, and it's so fucking discouraging to listen to these people just regurgitate bullshit and then act like you're the one that's misinformed, or it's like, dude, you don't even know what you're talking about at all, like even a little bit. And it's like, I choose not to have a battle of wits with an unarmed person. It's just a waste of time. It's, and those over in the Twitter sphere and those in the fucking metasphere, I like to poke with a, hot prod pair of scissors, needle, jabs. But, I have learned that these places are virtually useless for what we really want to use them for. And they're just mainly portholes for big media companies to slide out, their propaganda or whatever with bots. And, I have found so many bots. And Facebook, what's up with all the cam girls, man? Holy shit. Jesus. Calm that shit down. And platforms that side with pedophiles' rights over children's rights. Looking at you, Twitter. That shit bothers me. It's like, yeah, people wanted to cancel their fucking Netflix over cuties, but I don't see nobody canceling Twitter over that shit. They do it way worse. But, we're off track of what the original, thing is. I mean, I don't know what the answer is. I don't claim to. I just know what the symptoms are. Well, that's very creative, Spam. So, again, at the end of the day, I have no idea, really. I think that basically we need to just keep trying to, inform these people that, no, man, first of all, knowledge doesn't have a side. It's just knowledge. Facts don't take sides, man. They're just facts. Science doesn't take sides. It's just science. I don't give a shit what you've heard or that's contrary to all that is wrong. None of this shit should be on anybody's side. And asking questions should not be some right-wing conspiracy misinformation thing. If asking questions is right-wing propagandist misinformation, and holy shit, come on. You really got to stop and think about what you're saying. And make sure you know what you're talking about out there, because by and large, a great deal of you don't. Or you don't even know enough to know that you don't know enough. It's like, you don't know, but you keep fucking talking anyway. You keep saying bullshit. You keep regurgitating and needling. Making small dick jokes or whatever you can to try to. It's juvenile, and that's a lot of what Twitter is too, is a bunch of juvenile, and remember this, kids. If you're ever in the comments of a thing and you feel like the person that you're fighting with is a fucking 12-year-old, it might possibly be because they are. So at the end of the day, it's really just try to be kind and try to show people the error of their ways in the most civil way possible, because the way of being dickheads to each other in order to to make people see your side of the argument or whatever isn't really working out the best. And it gets to the point too where, like, I guess you can't even share a meme without somebody thinking you're taking a side. It's like, wow, really? I don't know, man. I just know that it's not right, and we got a whole generation of people growing up finding this as normalcy, and it's not. A whole generation of people are finding out that they can't trust the people that they're supposed to be able to trust. The system has already fucking failed them, and they haven't even started yet. It's gone way too far, man. It's leached its way into the music scene. It's torn apart local music scenes. And now even major label artists are making silly decisions. I don't know. It's pretty sad, but I know it's not gonna end unless we do something about it. So, like, yeah, when I see CNN and MSNBC and even all these news agencies, and even I know Fox is still up there or whatever, but when I see all of them kind of like dwindling down in the ratings, and I see places like, who would have thought that Joe Rogan and Russell Brand would be the ones that were doing it correctly, putting out information, asking the questions, showing where the information is coming from, not just some anonymous source. That has never been allowed to fly, ever. Never, ever has anonymous source been allowed to fly so much as it has nowadays. Nowadays, it's like they could just make up whatever the fuck they want and say an anonymous source said it. What? The fucking janitor out in the hallway? The dude talks to himself. I mean, is that where you're getting your fucking info from? Is that the shit we're talking about right now? So, these people that are thinking that they're getting information from quote unquote trusted news sources are actually getting fed bullshit. And see, some of these rich hotheads think that they're in that club. Sebastian, you're not in that club. Not even by any fucking stretch of the imagination are you in that club. So, quit towing the line like you are. Because you're not in that club, bro. They'll drop you like a bad fucking habit the second you cease to be usable. Which, we've seen how usable you are lately, haven't we? But at the same token, I mean, the point is for people to be able to ask the questions. Why can't we ask questions? You know why. But I think it's, it's kind of time we drop all the bullshit. Huh? But hey, I have to believe that eventually the truth will prevail. The two things that cannot be hidden long are the moon and the truth. It's Buddha or some shit. But like the moon, even in the cloudiest of times, the moon will come out. The moon is there. It's just you can't see it sometimes. But it won't stay hidden for long. So no, I'd encourage people to get into the conversation though. And, let people know. But I think we should just, I really just kind of feel bad for, like when Sebastian Mouth starts talking or, as much as I would like to, rib him and all that stuff for being a washed up hack or whatever. I don't ignore the fact that, hey, at the end of the day, he's an accomplished musician. He made it. However much he's hacked himself into it, he made it. Hey, that's good for you, man. People look up to you. People want to come see you and all that. But I think you take that for granted, and I think you try to use that to your own political means, and I think that that's just sick. It's, trying to say stupid shit like, if you're for Trump, then you ain't for rock and roll. That's the stupidest fucking thing I have ever heard anybody say. I mean, come the frig on, dude. Really? Jesus Christ. Come on. Really? So, yeah, I'll have to, actually, let's do this. The people that are on the streaming side of things, you're going to get to hear something. Something. I think. No. cool. That's cool. Whoa. Dude. Whoa. Did we just make more music? Dude. Whoa. Did we just make more music? Dude. Holy shit. That is like, wow, dude. Alright, but where's it coming from now? That is like, wow. Dude, now I gotta go back and like, gotta go back and sample that. See, we made music right there. It's pretty cool music. Well, pretty trippy. Sometimes it just happens by mistake. See that? I won't ask anybody to take sides to listen to that. And that's the thing I'll wrap it up with. I mean, we come to like we trust in our musical places and our artists. Of course, free speech is free speech and it's across the board. And you got the right to be however misinformed or whatever you want to be. You got the right to say and do whatever you want. But sometimes it's at the detriment to your fan base that just come to you for those, when people come to Neil, they want to hear that old wisdom that they heard back in the Ohio days and stuff like that. Those kind of songs about freaking protesting against the man. And here we are, we've come full circle, and it's now he's just a grumpy, bitter old man. It's severely misinformed. And it's just, it bums me out to see that some of these artists are losing fans, that they're like, well, now every time I want to listen to him, I'll have to listen to bullshit. Oh, did you hear it? It's like, good. Thankfully, the music gets left alone itself. But when the artists start saying stupid stuff like, if you're a fan of my music, then you can't be a fan of this, or if you're, that's ignorance, and it should be ignored at all costs. They don't realize what they're doing or what they're saying. They're being the very evil that they claim to be against. So keep that in mind out there and try to inform each other of the actual facts of it all.